Yes, Professor Vasan. Yes, Professor Vasan. Yeah, your voice is not coming. Your voice is not coming.
Sorry, I was on mute.
Yeah, that's true. That's true now.
Okay.
Okay.
And the other thing, I wanted to share my slide. Just I want to see. Then I'm coming.
Yeah.
1 minute, sir. So I'm sharing my. So you can see my slides.
Yeah.
So I can write also on it.
Yes, definitely you are writing here.
Actually, once I maximize it, that I
Yeah.
wanted to see. So then we are coming. I can only see. So basically, I'm using something like this. So I can do everything actually here.
Okay, fine.
So that's why generally I prefer writing when I'm taking lecture. So I'm using two computers in parallel. So
Okay,
wherever I have
fine.
to discuss, I come to the pen, just like a pen paper in the class. Whenever I have to show my PPT, I will be there.
No, that's our habit. I'm writing the things.
1 minute, 1 minute, I'm just checking with the double computer.
Okay.
1 minute, trying to connect other computer also.
Yeah.
Let's see what happened. So you have a very hectic period. I found yesterday I attended Professor Ravi Shankar's lecture. First day
Mhm,
I was in Pati's lecture, and
mhm.
my classes are also going in parallel actually.
Yes.
And recently, institute has allowed our students to come back.
Okay, all students.
Yes, they have sent those who have done the two vaccination, they can come.
Okay.
So we are planning for this final semester exam as an offline exam.
That's
So
in
in
our
next,
institutes, it is not permitted till now.
I see.
Everyone is taking online. And in
So,
IIT Delhi also, yesterday I talked to Professor Ravi Shankar.
hmm.
So and Professor Arul from Madras, IIT Madras.
Yeah, I know Professor Abdul. Yeah,
So they were telling that in this semester we will go on online.
I see. So
Anyway,
so that is a problem because what is happening? They
yeah.
are copying in the midterm. I can from the exam copy I can make out that they have copy each other. So from the mistakes you can catch
Yeah.
if they have copied.
Yes.
So we are planning at least for end term exam we should call them here.
Right.
So notification has been sent. I am switching on the actually other computer is just taking time.
Oh, I see.
Actually, other thing I found,
Yeah.
still most of our these colleagues who are taking class, they are not habitual with the computer.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Say that professor, he was just reading the slides. So
Mm-hmm.
within a 1 month, I realized when I started last year taking my online lecture,
Okay.
without all weapons, I cannot take the online class. So I
No,
had
no.
to buy this Microsoft Surface Pro, pen, mouse. I am going PowerPoint, then coming back to the OneNote. I keep on doing
Wow.
like this in the class
Yeah.
lecture.
For one
So,
notepad.
because nowadays I discuss with my PhD student, now they have started coming back.
Hmm.
I suggested all of them, go for the blackboard, buy a blackboard, keep a computer in front of it, or keep a camera if you want discussion. Otherwise,
Hmm.
very difficult.
That's very difficult, really.
Joining with the other computer message has come. Then I think two people will come.
Yeah, yeah.
Now my two names will come. I am suppose
This is PPT. One thing, one is showing, and
other
from
will. Anyways, I will do in this way. I have no problem. Actually, I have a habit keeping my
Mhm.
tablet on my leg.
Right,
Then
right,
you
right.
need to write like this.
Hmm.
You understand? Suppose you have a pad, you have on this thing, then I go in that way. So I
Hmm.
feel very comfort
Okay, okay, okay. No, that's
writing
true.
on the tablet. Because once, otherwise, if you keep the tablet in angle, then it
Hmm.
become very difficult to write.
Very different.
Or, acha, if you make very too much angle, then our photograph didn't come. So suppose
You
I'm
have,
just checking this,
you
just I will
have,
take 1 minute. Yeah,
yeah.
I turn off this. I will use a from other side camera and everything. 1 minute,
Hmm.
I'm turning off this one and I will talk with some other computer.
Okay,
1 minute.
okay, 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 okay.
This camera I will turn off. This camera I have to turn. So it is okay. Suppose I go like this.
Okay,
Only you see, easy. I can watch my whole class,
okay.
and I'm sitting in my this iPad on this, and then doing everything.
Yeah, yeah, sure, sure.
Okay, thank you very much. So
That's fine.
I actually enjoy this position much better.
Yeah, yeah, that's true. That's true. Okay, fine,
Okay, so
fine.
but then you can take rest. Then after I'm here and I'm waiting.
Okay, at
Okay,
11:30.
okay,
Okay,
okay.
okay,
Thank you.
fine.
Okay, thank you very much. Okay.
People are joining one by one.
Actually, this topic is little not so easy also. It's a little lot of algebra, mathematics, and here I am also teaching for last 10 years all these computer science student. And our department also we have a BTech engineering physics program.
Okay, fine.
So it's started here from
Yeah.
last 6 years.
Okay, BTech
And,
engineering.
yeah, in fact, last year one girl joined Microsoft 1.5 crore package. Whatever
Oh,
highest package was given. From 3 students got from our institute. One girl was from our department.
oh, that's good.
So even ranking wise, we are getting better students from many other department like civil engineering, metallurgy, mechanical. We are getting by 3,000 filling whole seats here.
Oh,
And from this year, we have one more program, MSc integrated. Now it has been closed. Now we have started a BSMS program.
okay.
As per the National Education Policy, for research also now, for PhD is now become compulsory कि there should be research either in the BS level or MS level, I mean master's level or graduate level. There should be a rigorous research component
Yeah.
join PhD. Actually that is a good initiative from the government side.
Yes. So here also, I've been teaching this for last 8 years, probably, in MTech and BTech courses.
Okay.
So BTech, we have BTech Computer Science for 4 years.
Okay.
And, we have IPG course of 5 years integrated course.
Okay.
So in that course, we have taken this course, Quantum Computing and Information.
Okay.
So I'm taking this course since last 8-9 years back.
Okay.
So you have also this Quest program also, no? National Mission for
Yeah,
Quest.
I'm a part of this quest. I have got almost 7.5 crore grant
Oh, very good.
to start, but money came last year, but now only last week my PhD student started coming back.
Okay.
Last year, March, my lab was closed.
Oh.
And after that, now people are coming. Almost 1.5 years. It's a tough period for us also.
Yeah, that's true. It's very difficult.
Yes.
Okay.
I can see few of them are with the mobile in class.
Yeah.
Total, how many candidates are taking this?
Total registered candidates are 57.
57.
Yeah.
But I never saw 57 at
Yeah.
whenever I came, I hardly saw 25, between 25,
25,
30.
yeah, 25, 26, 20. In the morning,
Yeah.
there was, I think, 27, yeah, something like that.
Yes.
So it is going on daily basis attendance. Let us see. Because this is IC sponsored program.
Okay.
So they will disburse certificates on the basis of 80% attendance
Okay.
to the participants.
Okay.
Mm.
And I will provide you the question tomorrow evening after
Sure,
the lecture.
sure.
I have not sent any information, so I will send
Ah,
after this.
yes. On tomorrow, because you have also one lecture tomorrow.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I have a lecture tomorrow. Yes, I have to prepare because this is my already prepared lecture.
Mm-hmm.
I added few things. Maybe I have to give the notes, so I added few more things.
Okay.
So
I will be in touch with you because one of my faculty has joined there in electronics department as assistant professor. And your department, physics department, I know GD Verma and Dr. Anirban, yeah.
Animal Mitra.
Yeah.
Animal Mitra. Okay. Yeah.
I have already, I have invited him in a FDP program here.
Okay.
Professor GD Verma is also invited here.
Yeah. Yes. Nowadays, our head nowadays.
Yeah. So they have all visited. If it would have been offline, then I would also like you to visit here.
And yeah, actually today I met one Professor Sanjeev Shukla in mathematics. He was telling me he has gone many times your place, your institute.
Okay. So I think, sir, let's start. They will
Okay.
simply join. So
Okay.
once again, welcome to this FDP program on quantum computing, Professor Vashan. Professor Ajay Vashan did his MSc from University of Roorkee, now IIT Roorkee. He did his PhD from IIT Kanpur. After the PhD, he joined the Department of Physics at IISc Bangalore as a CSIR SRF and CSIR RA. He also worked at LKB Paris as CNRS Fellow and at Kyoto University as a JSPS Fellow. Professor Vashan joined the Department of Physics IIT Roorkee in 2007 and set up a state-of-the-art quantum optics laboratory. His research interest is in quantum optics, atomic laser spectroscopy, and quantum computing. He has been involved in teaching quantum computing for last 10 years to BTech students. Presently, his research group is working on making the quantum gates using the trapped cold atoms, and this work is funded by the DST's National Mission Quest program. So with this brief CV of Professor Ajay Vashan, I request Professor Vashan to continue his lecture to our
Thank you,
participants.
Professor. Thank you, Professor Srivastava. So I am starting. I will go a little slow. If anyone, any place, any question, please don't hesitate in asking because whatever I can make out, because different speakers have come, so many gaps are there. So I have tried my best. Whatever I'm going to explain before that I will do many things. So I am starting now.
Yeah.
So in quantum algorithms, so here I'm writing some few names in a very famous algorithms: Dirichlet's algorithm, Dirichlet-Josta algorithm, and Simon algorithm, and Grover algorithms, quantum search algorithm, quantum Fourier transform, and phase estimation, period finding, and Shor factoring. So in my lecture today, I will be covering only these two algorithms because even I have to go to these two algorithms, so I have to prepare the foundation. So I will be talking on quantum parallelism also, because without understanding quantum parallelism, we cannot understand these things. And rest, when you suppose you have any time, then you go for them, because even these two algorithms I'm talking about, Dirichlet's algorithm and Dirichlet-Josta algorithm, they are useless algorithms we don't use, but they give the idea what is the meaning of algorithms. That I am going to discuss with you people. So you must have already seen by previous lecture. I'm just little recap. I'm doing it. Okay, suppose action of Pauli operators on the basic state is, so x we are writing x is equal to, we already know this gate, and we can write the y gate, which is in matrix form I'm writing, and we know when it's operating on 0 it's going to give you 1, and if you are operating on 1 it's going to give 0, and we represent by this notation. And y operating on 0 we are getting this, and if y operating on 1 we are getting -1 0. Z operating, and we had notation is like this, and if Z is operating on 0 0, and we call it phase gate, and if you on 1 -1 phase comes here, and we represent it by this symbol, so x y z. So next thing comes Hadamard gate. So you must have already heard about it. We represent by 1 over under root 2, 1 1 minus 1 minus 1. Here the last element is -1 within 2 by 2 matrix, and its symbol is like this, H. So immediately we can make out this is the Hadamard gate. So the action of the Hadamard gate on the basis state is, suppose we apply H on 0, and what will be this? And if you apply on the 1, so anyone want to give the answer in the audience? What is this value? What is this value and what is this value?
Superposition state of 0 plus 1. So 0
Yes.
plus 2 and 0 minus 1 by root 2.
Yes, very good. So simple one. I have written here the 0 plus 1 divided by under root 2, superposition of these two states, and here 0 minus 1 divided by under root 2. And you have two options. Either you write Hadamard here and then 0 this thing and multiply it, or you can write same matrix in Dirac notation. So I can suppose if I make this 0, this is 1, this is my 0, this is my 1. So I can write same matrix in this form, Dirac notation. And if you are multiplying from 0 here, so you will get this answer. If you are multiplying 1 from here, then you will get this answer. The easiest way in writing the Dirac notation. So I have written this matrix in Dirac notation. So also block sphere also comes. Tomorrow I will also using this block sphere. So just I giving, you already know, if I am writing 0 here and 1 here, then this is the superposition of 0 and 1. So I am on this x-axis, basically on the xy plane on the block sphere. So B 0 is here, 1 is here, so we are here. And when we are applying Hadamard gate on the, now instead I'm applying Hadamard gate on 0 plus 1. You already know answer comes 0. So basically what happened when you applying it, so this from here, it goes here, this rotation take with respect to the y-axis. You rotate like this with respect to the y-axis, you can imagine in your mind, so this will reach here. So it will look like this. It has come here. And now there are two processes there, and then after that, it rotates with respect to x-axis and it goes around like this. So same thing is here I'm showing, reach to here. So whatever I am talking here, because I have to use this Hadamard here frequently on next few slides to before going to the our algorithm. So I'm giving you just a flavor. Okay, let us go further. So you must have already seen x. This is suppose we are putting on this 0 beta 1. So in this case, this will become 1 and this become 0. And if I apply alpha 0 plus beta 1, so you already know this when we apply z on 1, so this is going to become minus 1. So this will be alpha 0 minus 1. And if I am applying on Hadamard 0 plus beta 1, so 0 we already know. Just now one of you told, this will be this and this will be this, and so on. Now I'm coming to Hadamard gate. A little more problems. Suppose now we have one state, we apply Hadamard here, then Hadamard here. Basically, it's going to be circuit like this. Now question, what will you answer? Simplest, you must have learned by now. When we multiply H and H, we are taking the product of these two. This is identity operator. So identity operator is going to on psi, you will get only psi. Okay. So, and one more problem. Now suppose we are taking in a parallel. Just now I was showing a series. Now I'm taking in a parallel. So HH, now here HH, and I am applying 1 1. So what will be the psi? So I will come answer soon. I will tell you another slide. So operation of 2 and more Hadamard gates in parallel plays an important role in the quantum algorithm. So we have to see, right now I'm showing very simple, only 2, but we have to go up to n. We don't know what is that n. What is n value of n? It may be 2, it may be 5, it may be more than millions. So Hadamard on n qubits. So I'm taking lot of Hadamard gates in parallel. So when n Hadamard gates X in parallel on n qubits, this is called Hadamard transforms. Okay, the notation for this simplest notation we have made h in the when we call it tensor notation, you must have learned already. When we multiply 0 tensor 1, so basically this is 0 1, and then we can do the tensor product must have learned. But here we have this thing coming here in the power. So h tensor n, and it means h as we are multiplying on many times, so on up to n. Okay. So suppose this is h. This h we are taking parallel. We are applying 1 1. The input is here. One input is here. So we are going to take h tensor. We are writing 2 here. In this or okay. Or initially I was showing 1 1. Now I can 0 0. So I am coming the next slides because we have to go. So right now I'm going to show you we are doing the product and how we write in a short form, how we write in a compact form, whatever this answer comes. Suppose we are applying these are two Hadamard gates in parallelly, we are applying 0 0 on them. So h tensor h on the 0 0. Same thing I'm writing. So first h will act on this, second h will act on this. So we are going to write something like this. And if you take the product, 0 will go with 0, 0 will go with 1, then 1 will go with 0, and then with 1 will go with 1. It will go in like this. So finally, whatever elements will be there, it will be like this 0 0 0 1 plus 1 0 1 1. In the short form, I'm going to write this thing. This we are representing by 0, 0 1 we are representing like this, 1 0 we are representing like this, 1 1 we are representing like this. And then we are writing like here. So 1 over 2, it was here, 1 over 2, x from 0 to 3 and x. So here you can make out immediately if I am writing, because x has 4 values 0, 1, 2, 3, the same this value I'm talking. So 0 representing this. So whenever suppose we are writing 0 0 0 1 1 0 1 1, so we just say this is 0, this is 1, this is 2, this is 3. The same thing has been followed here. Okay. Then I go further. Instead of now 2, now we have a 3 here. So we will go in the same way, whatever I did in the upper part of the slide. So now I'm coming here. So I'm going to apply something like this. So we are going to get now 8 elements. So we are going to say this 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. And we are writing in the compact notation something like this. So we have it done. Even suppose x equal to 0. So we know it is 1 is this. X is equal to 7. So we know this is this. The last element. This is one way of writing in compact notation. Then we are doing 4 times. So I will not show whole mathematics. I'm just writing direct answer. So x equal to 0 to 15. And we already know when I'm writing for 4, 0, 0, 0, 0, until it will be last 1, 1, 1. So first will be the 0 and last will be the 15. So we can write all the numbers. And suppose just till now I was doing on the 0, we are doing letters on the 1. Here little different notation comes that I'm also going to discuss. You already know this h will act on first one, second will act on second this thing, and we are doing the tensor product of this and this. So immediately you can write down here. So earlier this minus was not coming. Now we have minus here. So what is the way of writing in the compact notation? So we are writing here 0 0 minus 1. As such we are taking 0 1 2 and 3. So plus 0 minus 1 minus 2 plus 3. In the compact notation we are writing like this. So minus 1 power x naught x1. So that first element and second element, first element I'm saying x0, and second element I'm saying x1. And we are taking addition modulo 2. So 0 plus 0, if you are doing it, this is going to give you 0 and you are going to get first value. If you are putting this value will come. But if you take 0 plus 1, addition modulo 2 basically, at 1, so you are going to get the negative value. Next will be 1 plus 0, and so we have this way of writing the compact notation. And if I take 0 and 1, just now we took 0, 0, 1, 1. Now I'm taking 0, 1. So you already know here 0 minus 1 will come for the second element. So when you are doing the product, so you are going to get again minus here, 1 minus will be here, and 1 minus will be here. So a little different from the upper part. So here we are going to write in this way. Minus 1 power x. So you know why? No, you already know. Okay, if I am writing 0, so minus 1 power 0, or if I am writing 0, or if I take minus 1, 3. So these two values are going to give me this minus and this minus. So we can write in compact notation in this form. Okay, let us make problem more complicated. In the book, before one problem I come, before that I wanted to discuss. Let us, I'm taking one example. I'm writing psi that is equal to, it has summing from x equal to 0 to 2 to the power n minus 1, ax and x, the Dirac. So here I want to say the ax value is basically 1 over under root 2n. And immediately, if you take a simple example, if you take n is equal to 2, so basically on the top we have 3 value. So we are going to get 2 to power 2 here. So this will be something like 1 over 2. And you must have already done this probability when we are taking the summation square of all these elements, whatever this thing, and that should come equal to 1. So if in this case also is true, if I am going to do the summation, if this is normalized over all from x equal to 0 to 2 to n minus 1, we are going to get 1. Simple example I have taken here, n equal to 2. So you are going to get 1 over 2, 1 over 2, and then we are taking a square of this 4 times. That's going to give you only 1. So this is a normalized property that you have already learned, and so far you must have learned. And if I am taking n equal to 3, so our state something will be like this. And if I expand, and then you can write corresponding all elements. So I am going the other way now. Okay, suppose same state I have written in this form, and here I have written the amplitude also. And 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Be starting from the 0. So any question up to here? Okay, class is totally silent. Okay, I go further. I am taking one problem from Nelson Chong book, the very famous book, Quantum Computing. He show explicitly that Hadamard transform on n qubits may be written as like this. Now question comes, we are doing n times, and how it has come. So meaning of this is this. And then finally, whatever calculation will come, we have to see whatever we write in this form, whatever I got in the initially, we are getting the same answer or not. So we are taking the Hadamard operate on parallelly, and then we have to apply n qubits input. When we have a n qubit input, there should be also n qubit output. And Hadamard n times means we are doing H tensor, and so up to n times. And Hadamard, this thing matrix, you already know this. So by matrix, if we're going to do it, it will take ages. So we have to do little algebra. So Hadamard 1 qubit in computational basis. See, I have written different way here. H we are operating, for example, you should just remember when we are operating H on 0. So we have a 1 over under root 2, 0 plus 1. And when I apply on 1, we get minus here. This is same thing in short notation. So if you put 0 here, so 1 minus 1 power 0, so you are going to get the same answer. If you put 1 here, then you are going to get minus here. So this is a one way of writing when we are operating H on Xi, short notation. Xi may be 0 or 1. So correspondingly, plus or minus value will come here, depending upon key plus will be when it is 0, minus when it is a 1. Okay. I am writing in more now compact notation 1 over under root 2, and y I am taking summing over 0 and 1, and here is y, and we are taking the product of xi and y. If first in my first element, if let us say is here 0, if I am multiplying 0, this will come plus. So once you have to keep 0, you have to keep 1, so again you are going to get the same. And if I keeping 1 here, so 1 minus will also come, and then you have to substitute value of 0 and 1. So basically I am getting the same thing. Whatever I am applying on 0, h on 0 or 1, I am getting the same thing by writing this notation. Okay. Okay. So Hadamard and qubit in computational basis. Now I'm going to expand for the same way. I'm going to expand for n times. So we are taking this h I'm writing here n times. Similarly, there are n inputs. So I'm writing here n times. And each h first will be act with the first one and last will act with the here actually. So I'm writing here. So I'm writing in this form up to n times. Now I am going to apply whatever is compact notation here I show in the top. I'm going to apply for each one here. If I write here, so first one hx1 I have written in this. hx2 I have written like this. And nth one I written like this. Again I want to write in a more compact notation, so I will be going to write something like that. I'm summing over. I have summing because we have to multiply all this thing. So here for this purpose, I am using on the top whatever I showed you here, this notation. I have used that one. So you can see minus 1 is here. So we have collected all 1 over under root 2 here because it's n times. So that's why this n has come here. And then minus 1, x1, y1, because I'm using this notation on the top. And we have added up to x and y. And all these y elements are here. I can write in more short notation here. I'm writing here now. All the summation I have brought here x dot y. So x dot y is basically same thing here, whatever this is same, this meaning. Okay. So I showed you on the previous slide on this, and here x dot y is this. And we have both options. Either we can multiply it, or we can take same thing and be written also in the addition modulo 2. They are writing this x dot y can be also written in this form. And you have already studied if this we are adding 0 plus 0 or 1 plus 1, we are going to get always 0. If they are not equal, then we are getting the 1. So basically what we have learned here, if there were parallel n Hadamard gate and we are giving some input here x on each one here, here, and there was some output that is in this form. So here you have to see compactness. We are not writing in a very big, suppose otherwise if you going to write a number, It's a very big number. And then nothing will come. We cannot conclude anything. So here just matter is how compactness is there when we are writing n Hadamard gate with n input. So we have output something in this form. Okay. I'm writing here, if we start in the 0 listing, then Hadamard all n qubit creates a superposition over all possible bit strings. So basically this, okay, I'm taking h and I apply 0 all of them here, 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 and so on. So whatever answer will come here. So because you can make out when x is equal to 0, all zeros are there. When you are adding it, so this will come 1. This value will come equal to 1. Same thing happen here. Amplitude, so on here. And this become now only y left here, so I have written the y here. So we are operating, basically I can say also this is also n times 0 value also, and on each 0 we are applying h and we are getting this answer. Okay. Now apply Hadamard. Now suppose I had this state on the previous state I am showing. I am saying let us apply Hadamard on this. So now we are applying. So whatever output came, we are again applying Hadamard. If you remember in the beginning I asked if we have a Hadamard here. We have a Hadamard here. And we have given a state. And I said we are going to get only psi. Because when we are taking product of these two, it's the identity operator. And same thing should come whatever input is there. So we just want to check whether our this notation is correct or not, because we should get 0 n times. So that thing I'm going to show you here. So we are applying now the Hadamard is going to apply on the y state. That's also is constant, and this is a summation. So we are applying on this, and we have earlier I was writing in the form of x and y. Now I have brought the y z. One more z I have brought here. So we have done this thing because we have already used the x and x, y, and now I have introduced the z here. So here y dot z, I have already discussed with you when we apply this thing on this type of thing comes. I have already discussed with you people. And now we have little arranging the things. I have taken this z1 here and y I have brought with this, and bracket is here. And what is the summation of this? If I discuss with people, so we are summing -1 power y dot z from y equal to 0 to 2 power n minus 1. Okay, so y dot z, I open it, y1, z1, and so on. And here y, basically all this y, whatever we are applying here, they are y1 to yn. So if I'm doing this, same whatever I wrote in the previous slide, last statement is this. And then minus, I am opening it, y1 z here, y2 z2, and so on. And this one, we are taking all summation because we were doing summing from y1 and up to yn to 0. So I have brought y1 is equal to 0, y2 is equal to 0, this thing up to n time. And this value, when we are doing -1, adding it y1 z1, y1 from 0 to 1, if you substitute the value here, so if you put value here, so y is equal to 0, I have written the 0 here, because 0 into z, whatever value is become 0, and y is equal to 1, we are getting z1. Now not depend upon what is the value of z1, then we are going to get delta 0 z1. So this you can check it from this summation. If I have it immediately, you can basically this is Dirac notation. If this if zi is equal to 0, Zi is equal to 0, you are going to get 1. If Zi is equal to 1, you are going to get 0. We have only two values, either 0 or we have 1. So we are going to put, so here you can check. In this way, we are writing delta 0 Zi. Zi may be 0 and 1. So we are going to do the summation over all the states. So delta 0 Zi up to here, and finally we are writing delta 0 Z. So when we started our thing, so this was my problem in the beginning. I started, I'm again writing that we wrote equal to this, and then I wrote this whole thing, whatever this in this form, and then again coming back, I'm applying here. Basically, this whatever answer is coming, this summation is coming here. This summation is as such. This summation is as such. This I have it done here in delta form, and Z is here, Z is here. So that is equal to 0 basically. So here you can make out if you are going to add all this value, if you start putting Z is equal to 0 to all, because only first value Z is equal to 0, that is going to give you 1 here, other value going to give you 0. So only one element survive here. So basically this is also n times, because we had n times 0 on the each header mart, and same thing would have found easier fashion using that I was telling you in the beginning. If we are taking this product, or we can write a simple form like this, that is equal to identity operator. And I said in the beginning on problem when I imposed H psi, basically you're getting psi. Whatever, suppose this is 0, so you're getting 0 here. So this is the easiest way of getting this. So here basically we have applied, first let us say I apply 0, I'm talking like this. So n time we have done. If we doing like this, you are going to get 0, 0. So I just showed that now we are so capable doing all this mathematics. We are just doing simple quantum mechanics using algebra. Okay. So here the effect of the Hadamard on the computational basis. So whatever I was showing you, just now I proved this, and we can deduce from this matrix outer product form. So I just want to show, see this matrix. You must have read. There is one identity operator in the quantum mechanics. Maybe one of this lecturer must have explained. If we have a states, and if I'm adding it, I'm taking outer product of states. I'm adding in all states. Let us say I want to say s equal to 0 to whatever n value. This is identity operator. So basically same thing happen also here. This state we have multiply x, and then we have done the summation over all states. So you can see when we have done the summation here, this become identity operator. So there nothing is here, but here one summation extra has come. Initially it was y equal to 0 to 2 to the power n minus 1. Now it has come, even x summation also has come. So we are writing same metric in this form. It's just one way of writing. Okay. So now next topic is the quantum parallelism. So this is required. Now I have shown you already. If we are applying parallelly many Hadamard gates, this is the same way. If we are not doing parallelism, then quantum computing is useless, because then there is no difference between classical mechanics, classical computing, and quantum computing. So we are doing what is special thing in the quantum computing? There is a quantum parallelism. So here I am considering consider the classical circuit able to compute the value of function fx for the given input x in a single time step. Okay. So I have given some value here, some output will come here. So this is my some gate or oracle, whatever you can call it. When we apply on the x, we are going to get fx. Let x be a binary string of length n. So binary strings, for example, if I am saying n is equal to 2, then it will be 0, 0, 0, 1, 1, 0, 1, 1. N is equal to 3, 0, 0, 0 till 1, 1, 1. So that is my meaning here, binary string. Then we have two extreme choices for computing the value of function fx for 2 to the power n possible values of the argument x. So use single copy of circuit repeatedly and obtain all the values of function after 2n time step. So basically I am saying here, consider entanglement of 2 qubits, then the state will be, so I am taking 2 qubit state, 0, 0, 0, 1, 1, 0, 1, 1, and each has some property here, A0, A1, A2, A3, and basically square of this plus square of this plus square of this plus square of this, that is equal to 1. So here I am saying, first we are applying 0, 0, then again we are applying 0, 1 on the same gate, 0, 1. This is basically, this is happen only in the classical world, classical computer, but quantum computer we don't do like this. Right now I'm just saying, is single copy of circuit repeatedly we are doing on the only one gate, we apply this, we apply this, we apply this, we apply this. We have one option this, or I'm saying consider entanglement of 3, then state will be a little more. 3 would take, so 3, 0, 0, 0 up to 1, 1. Then you have to apply 8 times. Up to 8 times. Okay. Now, other way of doing it, second this option, is to cover n copies of the circuit. Suppose I make the, for example, here I am showing this example. Either if you have it n equal to 2, you have to make the 4 copies of the circuit, or n is equal to 3, you have make 8 copies of circuit, and then put all the values in one shot. So figure will look like this. And I am giving all the value one shot. So we basically, I have taken a simple example, n is equal to 2. So we have our quantum gate 1, 2, 3, 4, but still we are applying 4 gates are there, and in a we are putting 4 values here. But in the quantum computing, I'm going to show only with one shot, we are going to put all the values. There is no need to make 4 times, 8 times all these copies. In one shot, in the one gate is going to give you the output result. So quantum circuit have a unique ability to perform these two functions, namely to compute the value of the function f for all possible values of the input x in a single time step with a single copy of circuit. So we are not going to do like previous classical case I was showing, either you put value one by one or you make copies all of them. Here we are going to do in one single shot. This remarkable property of the quantum circuit is called quantum parallelism. And then quantum parallelism is that feature of quantum computer which make it possible to evaluate the function fx on many different value of x simultaneously. So we'll be putting many values simultaneously in the quantum computer. So here's figure is something like this. So here I am showing the x value are going up to n times some oracle, we call generally oracle, but can do many things. We have giving and some outputs are coming. So we will look at an example of quantum parallelism now, how to compute f0, f1 for some function f all in one go. So Now our aim is to evaluate the function fx for many different value of x simultaneously. So usual quantum computing protocol for a function calculation, so I'm showing here. Classically, so we have just one, we are giving x, coming output fx. So the n bits, I'm just showing here, and then m bits some output will come. So I'm just showing one circuit, you are giving some values here. The input registered n bits, some x value, and then output register m bits, and some we are giving all this. We are giving some value x in all of them one by one. Here we are giving all value 1 0 0 1 by 1 in the later on, and some output will come fx here. So other thing, classical computer here reversal implementation. Ki whatever go inside and output comes, and suppose we give back, so same thing should come out. So need a reversal classical computation. So here whatever operations are, they are unitary, and basically idea is to store the inputs here. But same thing I'm going to show you how it happen in the quantum computer. So here what I'm doing, just see here, this is my one input that I'm giving here. This is n times basically x on the n bits. This is my input here, and this oracle is applying on the x, y, ym. So you can see from here the input register, so we are getting whatever we have given here, same thing coming here. Okay, main thing happening only this, whatever output come here this side, there we are saying y addition modulo fx, that is m times here, because here m bits are here. We are writing in this form. Okay. So far this is a number of qubits, whatever we are giving here. Left side. So in particularly, if I am taking simple example, instead of this y, I am applying the 0 here that I have shown here. So 0 addition modulo fx, you already know when we are adding 0. So if 0 right now fx, we don't know any value, but whatever 0 plus fx, that is going to give you fx. Okay. If we do the reverse, if we apply this, send the signal back to here, then what will happen? We are applying, you have to apply operate UF one more time. This is a U square has come. We are applying here like this thing. Then we have to do the operation here. So x, no problem, but here y plus, so fx will become y plus fx. That I have substituted here, and this y fx is here. And when we are taking the addition modulo of these two, we already know this is same and same. This is going to give you 0. And then we are doing y addition modulo 0. This is going to give you y. Basically, this thing is acting as an identity operator, I. Or we can write UF, basically inverse is equal to UF. The permutation of basis vector in computational basis. So basically this is unitary operator, whatever we have learned here. Same circuit I'm showing here. How to construct this type of things, whatever I have discussed. So in principle, always possible. Classical, when we are talking in the classical, to be a classical reversal. When we have a quantum gates, so we have to make a quantum gates. They should be also reversible, but we will be not using the classical gates here. We will be using the quantum gates. So problem in this, in the classical case, when we are doing all these things, a lot of garbage collect here because some unnecessary our bits comes there, classical bit what we're saying there, and nuisance in the classical case. But this unnecessary, whatever we are using many bits, they become also critical in the quantum cases. However, this garbage can always be restored in the 0. Basically, these are ancillas are there. Sometimes they are also very useful. They are useful when we are doing the error correction actually. So maybe I am not discussing here. This is from my class lecture. So maybe one of lecturer will discuss in the coming lecture. So of course, repeating the classical circuit design is not most efficient. So whole the thing is that if we have to design the circuits, that is very important. How to design the circuits if we can get maximum efficiently output. So main trick in all this thing is a function. Main trick in function calculation is we are making circuits here. Here I am showing, see here I am showing we are applying the parallel Hadamard gates. That's why I discussed that problem. And on this we are applying 0, on a 0, 0, 0 and so on. Similarly, we have some, this is we call it control, this is a target, or we can query, and this is a target, this thing. So we are applying also 0 and here. So you can make something now, see. So for this I have written here Hadamard thing here, and here I have written for this I, and this is acting on 0, and this is acting on this, and this is this one. And when we apply Hadamard, I have already discussed with you people. When we are applying on this, I'm writing directly what will be the value. When we apply the Hadamard on the 0, immediately I have wrote here x, and this amplitude part has come, and the summation has come. I have discussed with you this thing. So after applying on this is as such, because identity operator applying on 0, this is as such. But when this Hadamard n times has operated on this first 0, we are getting this value up to here and up to here. And after that, UF is going to apply on this. So when UF we are applying here, so this one UF I have showed you already. When we are applying the UF, we were writing something like second element I was writing y, something like this. So y my already 0, and this fx has come here. So after applying first, this stage is something same, no change, but second has become 0 plus fx is here. Contain all function at once. So whatever we are doing, all the values. So in the classically we were doing 1 by 1, or put so many gate and then put value. But here we have a circuit like this, just put one shot and everything comes in output. That's what I'm saying here, contains all function at once. So called quantum parallelism. But if we measure all qubits, then get a random x and corresponding fx. So when we are going to do some experiment where we are applying it, so this x value will be some random, and then corresponding some fx will come. Same as in the classical computer for random x, but it's not useful. So also cannot copy, because we cannot do the cloning here in the quantum world. So however, some further operation can give some relation between values of function fx for different x. So whole thing is there, the art of quantum algorithm. We have to make some algorithm so we can get some better result. That thing I'm trying to say here. We have to design something, circuit, and then it comes to algorithm. Algorithms are the things that is going to help us to make a better circuits, so that we can get some output actually. So I'm coming first problem, the teacher's problem. And whenever we do quantum computing, when we come to the we want to learn how the algorithm works. Teacher's algorithm and teacher's Joseph's algorithm. There are two algorithms. They are useless algorithm. We don't use anywhere in the circuit, but they help us. What is the meaning of algorithm? How we are going to apply it? So we can get some imagination how it working all this in the particular system. So I'm just coming to a definition before to come to this thing. We consider a 1-bit function f. So we are applying some input and some output is coming. Suppose we are applying 0, 1, we don't know what is the output and what is the output. We have no idea. So for the output, we have some options. There are 4 options. Suppose we apply 0, 1, there possibility is 0 and 0 will come. There is also possibility 1 and 1 come, both are same here 1 1. And there is also possibility this may 0, this may 1, or there is also possibility this is 1 and 0. So how they have been defined the quantum computing, we call this type of, when both are same, this is the same, we use the word constant. This constant output is coming 0 0 same, 1 1 is same. In this case they are different. We have used the name balance, ki half is this, half is this. Now a question may come, suppose we have a 3 input, then how will you do half half? So I'm going to discuss in the coming slide also. So a binary function fx is called constant if it output only 1 0 or 1 for all value of x. So I said, let us say if we have a 3 input, so output all the are 0 0 0 or 1 1 1. So we are going to call it constant. A binary function fx is called balance if it is output 0 of half of the all possible x and 1 for other half. But this cannot be applied when we have a 3 input. The input should be either 2 or input should be either 4. So for 3 we cannot apply this. So suppose let us 4 inputs are there, 0 0 0 0 or all 1 1 1 1, or in the balance 0 0 1 1 or 1 1 0 0. So simple, I am taking a 4 1. When this is constant 0 0 0 0, balance 0 0 1 1, and constant also maybe happen, suppose this is 1 1 1. And if we take something like this, the 3 are 0, 1 is 1, so we can say immediately neither constant nor balance. And we are going to discuss whatever this Dirichlet's algorithm that is made only for these two conditions, not for this. Either output should be constant, it means fx all are 0 or 1, or half of them are 0, half of them 1. And this condition we are not discussing in my coming slides. So Dirichlet's algorithm, basically we are taking one string, binary string 0 1, and it's going to give you some output 0 1. So here I am fx saying a function with 1 bit domain and range. Function fx maps set of 0 1 on 0 1. So the possible mappings are, suppose we are because we are doing mapping from 0 1 to 0 this thing. So all possible mappings are either they are constant, both values are mapped at same value as I discussed, either both all are going to be 0 0 or they are going to be 1 1, or they are balanced. So it may be 0 1 or 1 0. Different value are mapped on different values. So a simple example, I'm talking all possible fx function. So see, just I'm writing 0 0 0 1 1 0 1 1. So there are chances function fx some 0 is there is going to make 0 0 into 0 or 0 into 1 become 0, because we have a 0 or 1 input. So 0 will also become 0, 1 also become a 0. And there are chances 0 become 1 or 1 remain 1, or some bit flip take place, 0 become 1, 1 become 0. And last one is this, if some function is there, it's acting as 0 become 0 and 1 become 1. Basically no change. So convenient way for computing function is this, whatever we are going to do is using a quantum computer that use 2 qubit xy and transform them in this form. This form I have discussed with you. We are giving some input xy and then it is transforming in this. So it name the circuit I am showing here. This is some Oracle UF. xy we are giving input, and this output x will remain same, and this is y addition modulo fx. And name is given here. This is data register, and this is the target register. Basically, control target. This is the data, and this is a target. Sometimes some of the books they also write the target, but right now in the lesson chunk notation he is using the data register, and this is target register. Or some book also write this query register. What is we are doing basically query here. So if xy is the input, Oracle is applying on it. So x as such and y addition modulo fx. So this is addition modulo 2, and that I have discussed with you already. Some values come like this. So f0 addition modulo f1 is equal to 0. That will happen when they are both are same. Okay, this case is either 0 0 or 1 1. And if we are adding them, that is equal to 1 if they are not same. That will happen only either this combination or this combination. Suppose we wish to calculate one function f naught. So then input register is x equal to 0. So fx is coming. So now, so for x equal to 0, and output register is y is equal to 0. And apply UF transform. 0 is here, 0 is here basically, and we are going to get state here and one state here. So the input return as psi 0 is equal to 0 0, and if I want to write after applying UF, we are going to get psi 1 UF 0 0, and we are writing 0 0 addition modulo f0. Our second option can be if we have x equal to 1, we are going to f equal to 1, the input register is 1. In this case, output register is y is equal to 0, and apply UF transform. So we are, two states are coming. Something UF we are applying here 1, and then we are applying this 0 plus f1, because f we have already seen this value will, when you apply UF here 1 f1 plus 0. Problem in this, we are doing 2 times as I said, but now I'm going to show you in the next slide in the quantum circuit algorithm, quantum circuits, we are going to in one shot everything. First I am applying here, first I applied 0, then I applied 1, but this can be done in one shot. So, but this is not a classical computer. We can actually query the result of 0 and 1 simultaneously using quantum parallelism. Okay. So now this is my teacher's algorithm. What they have done, just see, this is my oracle, and initially before the input they have applied one Hadamard here, and then here also they have put one Hadamard, and in the output they have also put Hadamard. So now you already know, I have discussed with people in the beginning, कि one Hadamard has come here, one Hadamard has come here. So whatever input is going to give, that input has to become output here. Only thing is that we have given some one here, some oracle will play some game here, and we have to find out what is here. So let us see how we are going to calculate this, all this thing in this particular algorithm. So here I'm showing you some x and y input. Same thing I'm taking here, x, y addition modulo fx. So basically we have to find out what is the input here, then we have to check what is the input here, what is the final state here, then after the applying oracle what is the state here, and then what is the state here. We are going to calculate all these things. So initial state, very simple, you can write immediately, psi 0 is equal to 0 1. Okay. Now applying first set of Hadamard, I have already discussed with you. Psi 1 we are applying on 0 and 1. So I'm not writing in a compact notation because only 2 inputs are there. So we can leave it like this. So 0 plus 1, 0 minus 1, for second 0 minus 1. This has been also discussed. Initially, I discussed. And this is, we call it query qubits. And here real qubits, because this is the first one is the whatever I'm showing here, this is the first one, and whatever I'm showing here, this is the second one, real qubit. So note here the one what comes query, basically whatever measurement, let us say first is the Alice is here, Bob is here. So basically Alice is giving this first one, and finally she is the person who is going to check here ki what is the result is coming here, because one is yesterday or maybe day before yesterday you must have heard about the teleportation. So here one of them was with the axis, one of the line quantum wire was with the Alice, other was with the Bob. You must have learned ki how they were getting the information. Same thing also here something. So here I'm saying a first quantum wire with the Alice, second with the Bob, and they are checking here. So some query is used in two different respect here. So that I want to say ki querying the function fx, that is evaluating it. So we can get the query ki what will be the function fx that we can make out from here. And second also, we measure it, querying the qubit 1 and measuring. From by measuring it, we can tell you what would happen here actually. What is the, it is constant or this is the balance. That information we can get. Okay. So I was up to here. Now we are going to apply the oracle UF on the psi1. So let us examine. Before going to this next, so I just want to discuss a little what is the value of y plus fx. What are the possibilities here? Suppose fx is equal to 0. Okay. So y plus fx, so I'm writing y is equal to 0. So what I'm writing here, my this state is here. So 0 plus, see we do this y plus fx will only the second qubit. This is my second qubit. So I'm writing here 0 plus 0, or we are considering fx equal to 0. That's why I have written the 0 directly here. It may be second qubit may become a 0 plus 0 minus 1 0. So this is coming as such, whatever input was there, same input for the second qubit. Or suppose fx equal to 1. In that case, I'm doing on the second qubit again. So this is 0 plus, now this is 0, fx was 0, now it become 1. Here it was 0, now it become 1. And then we know immediately when we add it, this comes 0. So this element I am writing here with minus sign, and this one I am writing here. Just see a difference here. Initially, this was a plus here, but now this become a minus. Some phase has changed. So I can also write same thing little by like this. This here I can take this. Suppose you take this common. Even I take this minus. I can write next line if I want to write. I can write minus 1 over under root 2 minus 0 minus 1. I'm talking about this phase, extra phase has come. This phase was not here, this phase has come here. And suppose I'm taking minus 1 power fx, that will value upon either a plus or minus 1. That will depend upon the value of fx. This is 0 or 1. So if I am using this y plus fx, so this state, whatever I have writing here, this state whatever I'm writing this state, I am writing here, bringing here minus 1. I have taken the common out. I can write like something like this. I do hope all you people are understanding. If not understanding, please ask me. So thing is that we are using the notation to make it all this compact. So after applying the UF, I'm applying now. We are going to write the state psi 2. So you have transform x. I am saying, let us say, because we are already saying this is 0 or 1. And second qubit is this that I am writing here. So UF we are applying. So I am writing, when we are applying the UF, so we are going to get -1 power fx, or there will be some upper input and this is the output. I'm just writing in a compact notation right now. We can write it all out in details. If I want to write in details, so this is going to be like this. If we are applying UF, this is my state, this is my state, this is my second state, this is my second state. And if I apply UF, so see what is happening here. For one time, this is my input with this. Second time, my this input with this. First time when I have taken the input 0. So I am writing here, see, don't need to be confused. I am applying first with the 0. When we are applying first with this on this state, then you see what is happening. I am writing here, this 0 has come here. This as such has come here with the amplitude that I have taken outside after multiplication. And then -1 F naught will come. Now I'm applying with F1. Then -1 at power F1. 1 is here and then second qubit is here. You have to, if you want to learn it, you have to do yourself with a page and pen. At least you have to do once. Now the thing is that we have enough condition. Now we are going to apply the condition. It is F0 or F1, they may be equal or they are not equal. So here one thing, it is I'm talking about the kickback phase. So here one phase comes here. I'm talking about this phase that has sent from the second qubit to the 1 qubit. 1 qubit has no phase, but it has come from the second qubit. So we call it kickback of phase from the qubit 2 to qubit 1. So this is my psi 2 after applying this oracle. I'm writing here. Now we have to apply the conditions. Now check the state for the two instance F being constant or balanced. So suppose F is constant. F0 is equal to F1. Here I'm talking. So we can take basically -1 will be common now. It can be taken out. So this and this we are saying equal. So I can take it out. Considering F1 is equal to F0, it has come out. Inside it is written like this. 0 with this 0 and 1 is with this 1. So this F0 can be either +1 or -1, depend upon if F is equal to 0, F0 is equal to 0, then we are going to get plus. If F0 is equal to 1, we are going to get minus here. So that's why my plus -1 has come here. So it depend upon the value of F0, whether it's 0 or 1. The rest of the things are same. Here I've written. Or we can take this is common, this is common. I have kept it here, and 0 plus 1 has come here. So basically this is a second qubit and this is a first qubit. As such, it has come out. So we are calling it, basically this has come here. And now you see we are applying the Hadamard here. So that's why I've written here apply Hadamard gate here. When you apply Hadamard on 0 and 1, we are going to get 0. We are getting the same result 0. Whatever 0 was given here, 0 has come here. Okay. Now we are going to take second case when F0 and F1 they are not equal. They are balanced, they are not equal, the F is balanced. In this case, I start from here. So what the trick of solving here, we break this F1, see how we break it. So we keep it as such here, but now we are writing here, we can writing this particular this form, this one, -1 multiply -1 at power 0. See, you F0 or F1, they are not equal. So F0, it may be 0 or it may be 1. Okay. Or F1, I should make like this. If this is 0 or this is 1, this is 1 or this is 0. Case is like this. Let us say we are taking simple one, ki F0 is equal to 0. And in this case, when F is equal to 0 is 0, we are going to get here minus plus 1 will come here if you see here. And I am multiplying, now I am taking F0. This is also going to give 1. But minus, because F1 is not equal to F0, so we are getting the F1 extra. That's why this is also satisfying from there. So we have done this thing like this. You can check also the other way. This is going to happen like this. So now what is happening? We can take the F0 common out. If I take the common out, my remaining term is negative sign here. That has come here. And then again, I have taken this as my f comma minus 1 power f0. Depending upon the f0 is equal to 0 or 1, so we are going to get plus or minus. So I have put it plus or minus here. Now we can take this common backside. So we are going to get 0 minus 1 and 0 minus 1. If I apply Hadamard here, we are going to get, actually this should be 1. We are applying Hadamard. So when this value is coming 0, so we know that is the case of constant. When this value is coming 1, that is a case of balance. For just one measurement, we are telling this is constant or this is measure. So I have summarized everything here. We are psi 2 up to here. Then we have applied psi 3. So we have either 0 or this is 1. So f equal to 0 equal to 1, so we are getting the 0 here. When this is a case of constant and this is a case of balance, then we are getting a 1 here. So basically we are just doing one measurement here. Either we are going to get here 0 or we are going to get 1. So 0 is this case. So it means immediately we can tell this is a constant. If we are getting the 1, immediately we can tell this is a case of balance. In one measurement we are telling it. Since in our case, so f0 plus f1, we are taking this value comes when they are equal. So we are writing here, it has been written in a different way here. Psi f0 addition motto f1. We are interested basically for the constant case, we want to see whether constant or not. With that particular case, we are writing like this. So hence, it is possible to measure x. The first query is to find with this, and basically this is one global property. Okay, so I have to finish one more algorithm. So this is a global property of fx using only one simulation of fx. So we can tell in one measurement this is 0 or this is going to 1. If this is 0, it's a constant. If you are not getting 0, it's a balance. Now teacher's Josa algorithm. Now you see here, he is applying many input, each one 0 0 here on the query register, and there are many header marks. That's why I discuss that initial part in the beginning, because many things are coming here in line, and then rest of the things are same. So right now, because we know how to write in compact notation, so this will make everything simple for me. So here again we are going to calculate state, what is initial state, what is psi 1 after applying the all this parallel header mart, then after the oracle what is psi 2, and what is the final state psi 3. So psi 0 I have written if we have a 0 here, n times, because they have each header mart we have support like this. We are applying 0, 0, and so on each header mart. That's why we've done n times, and then 1 is here, that's why 1 is here. And on each 0, we are applying header mart. This is just way of writing here. You can see it just means we have a n0 and the h is going to apply on 0. So this header mart n header mart on n0 and header mart is on 1. And this we have already seen how to write. I am writing in the compact notation. So basically, this is simple. I have written here. And this thing I have written here. Compact notation. Maybe if I go back, I can. So clear up to here? भाई प्लीज कोई अपना माइक ऑन करके बताए. लग रहा सारे लोग सो गए.
Any have question?
नहीं मैं अभी आगे जा रहा हूँ क्योंकि कॉम्पैक्ट नोटेशन मैंने यूज किया है. आई डिस्कस दिस थिंग.
Okay, okay.
So I have used key header mart we are applying on 0 and this thing has and then I am calculating the site to state, and when I am writing the site to state I have written the direct. We are applying this site to after y plus fx. Basically my one x, suppose this is x input. Here we are getting on the previous when teacher's algorithm I was showing, -1 power fx was coming. I have written the same thing directly here. And depending upon the x value, this fx is going to be changed. This is my psi 2. And then psi 3, when we are applying back, now psi 3 is coming here, but we have applied one more header mart here. Then I'm again writing if now header mart has applied on this x. So we are getting this z plus this z, and again the x dot z I discuss. Here x1, y1 plus x2, y2, and so on. Same thing I have written directly. So I will share my notes with Professor Srivastava, and
Yeah.
she's going to share with you. So you just please go and check.
Sure, sir. Sure.
It's just written from my previous slides. Same value I have written here directly. Then
Okay.
Alice now observe the query register. Alice has now option to check query register is this, and it is this is the amplitude of this query register, because she has only on this register this quantum wire, so she can check only there. So what only a few slides are there. I think I will complete it. So she measure the probability of measuring the jet. Basically, she interested. She want to measure the 0 here, and of course, when there is 0 input, all should 0 come there. So she the n times we have applied 0. So she interested only the jet 0 because we are making problem simple. So basically, 0 means all states are 0. So the same statement, whatever I wrote psi 3, and then consider, for instance, when fx is constant. We have made problem a little more simple. This is constant, and z, she we are taking all should be the 0. In this case, when we have taken the all zeros are there, so x, it means all x are 0. So this value is going to be 0. So whatever left, it will be only -1 power fx. We have written 0, only this much is left, -1 power fx, and this will be -1 if we are taking fx equal to 1, and if it's equal to 1, we are taking f equal to 0. That is simple algebra. If you put 1, so you want to -1. If you put power 0, you want to get 1. In this case, the amplitude for z equal to 0 power n is basically we are talking about this thing. Amplitude is this basically. When whatever amplitude is coming here, So you can make out 1 time plus, 1 time minus divided by 2n. So 1 power 2n, and this summation I have taken from here. And when you are, we already know if n is equal to 2, we are getting 1 over 4 plus 1 over 4 plus 1 over 4 plus 1 over 4, that is equal to 1. And if n is equal to 3, 8 values come, so every time we are getting 1. What we conclude here, other which exhausts the probability amplitude for psi 3, whatever you are going to get the probability only 1. In this case, we are going to say is psi 3 normalized to 1. Okay, and the amplitude of this already gives the probability 1. There can be no other component of psi 3. All other, whatever say, let us say there is going to be 0. So we are, see, right now we are talking only for the constant. Fx is equal to constant. So we are going to get only one value, that is the, for fx is 0, only one. You measure anything, you're going to get 0. Only one amplitude will come there. And other case, we are talking only z is equal to 0. I'm saying let us take fx is balance. In this case, minus 1 fx, it means we are saying here fx may be minus 1 or for some value of x, because half of them will be plus, half will be minus. So half will be is minus plus, because balance means 50% 0, 50% 1. So half will give the minus, other will give the 1, because fx, let us say one time is 0, other time is 1. So for half value will be minus 1, half value will be 1. And we are going to add this value 1 over 2 power 2n. So half will be 1 over power 2n, and other will be minus 1 over 2n. Basically, they are going to cancel each other. So there is a balance x squared comes into play, and then what happen, since all x values are considered and the function perfectly balanced, one must have equal number of 1 and minus 1. And when we are adding in this case is going to be 0. Basically just like a interference, out of phase, some 0 is coming there. So our observation is this here, this is my last slide, fx is constant when, let us say she measures 0 on apply on the psi 3, she getting 1, or is going to give the 0. Otherwise, one constant, she interested right now in constant, we are talking initially condition, we take the constant. If she getting some amplitude, it's a constant. If she not getting any amplitude, it's a balance. In one measurement, Alice come to know what is there. And then I'm saying, hence you will not measure all 0 eigenvalues when fx is balanced, since the probability of amplitude interfere destructively to produce a net probability amplitude of 0 for all 0 states. What will be measured if the function is balanced? Anything except all 0 eigenvalue. At least one qubit will result in measurement value of 1. And then I'm saying, note that this algorithm does require only one query of fx, that is uf, but it requires the ability to make n qubit measurements. In one shot, we are measuring all these things. So I will share my slide, Professor Srivastava. So
Yeah,
you
sure.
can give the candidates. Now, any question, please ask me.
Yeah. Any question from participants? Yes. Mr. Ankur Biswas? Okay. I think everyone is mute.
Yeah. Lunchtime is also there. Maybe they become hungry.
Yeah. Okay, sir. That's very
Okay.
fine lecture. And really, you have explained a lot of things like algorithms in
Yeah,
different.
actually, initially I had to make all platform mathematics.
Yeah.
So from that mathematics, actually, if you go to quantum Fourier transform, then you need a information of knowledge of the binary numbers. Then global algorithm, again, a lot of tedious mathematics is there.
Yeah.
and phase estimation, Simon theorem. So everywhere is like this.
Yeah. So, thank you, sir. Thank you very much for your exciting lecture.
Thank you.
Yeah. Thanks a
See-
lot, sir.
Okay, see you tomorrow.
Yeah. See you
Yeah.
tomorrow, sir.
Tomorrow I will be teaching how to make the quantum gates.
Yeah. Thank you.
Okay.
Thank you, sir.
Okay.
Thanks a
Bye
lot.
bye.
Sir.
Bye bye.
Bye. Stop. Yeah. So if participants are listening, then please, because no one is going to interact, no one is going to take any action for the speakers' question answers. So please take it as a lively, as an interactive session. Now, next lecture will be start from 2 p.m. by K. Durai of ISER Mohali. Please do join at 2 p.m. Okay, thank you.